Glenn Parker, High Vibration Foundation. Thank you very much for joining me. So, I love movies, so it's another movie review, I'm afraid, and I reserve some time, generally on a daily basis, unless it's epically busy or there's a lot of Who's Your Daddy time for that day. I'll definitely give up movie time for Who's Your Daddy time, and most people would. So, I love dramas, romance, my top genre, comedy and sci-fi. And if it can be like a comedy sci-fi drama, then it's even all the better. So I'm going to go back. This was produced in 1980. Always spoiler alerts, so if you haven't seen these things, then run away if you don't like spoilers. But Alter States, boys and girls, and Alter States, boys and girls. Deprivation tank, experimenting with different types of drugs that are from the rainforest and from like these Mexican Indians, from these types of ideas in Peru, like, dimethyltryptamine and beta carbolines, like an ayahuasca type of idea. They don't say ayahuasca anytime. They probably have no idea what ayahuasca is or was. They just generalized it. They did say dimethyltryptamine during the course of this actual, and they said that they were giving it to a schizophrenic to do experiments, but that is about as close as they got to actually naming an entheogen. And I love this because it is really exploring consciousness. It really is digging deep into the nature and the fabric of existence. Look how much we're digging as a collective consciousness. So this expressed itself into the real world as a movie. It's like we had so many questions. We wanted to share this as collectively so that we can address our questions out to collective consciousness and get people thinking more and more. And it doesn't really get deep into drug culture or anything like that, or hippie nation or anything like that. It really just addresses what cellular memory we might have, what we could awaken, what and who we really are, addressing that we are the infinite manifest into physical form. We are immortal beings playing a great game with a whole bunch of our friends, and it's trying to scratch the surface of that, and it does a fantastic job. Now, I will say toward the end, and maybe it was just because I was tired the day I watched this, is I found the end a little lacking in what I would actually want. It felt like they might have been rushed at the edge of their production budget, because I've been on productions like that where you spent your money, you're like, holy shit, we need to wrap up the story because daddy's going to run out of money and we're not going to finish this movie and I'm never going to work again. So I felt a little rushed there at the end as far as the storyline. They did close out the story. It was well paced for the most part. I mean, there's some scenes that are a little long, but I think that's innate for movies around this timeline in the 80s, late 70s, early 80s. We did have better attention spans back in the day than we do now. So perhaps my attention span has faded. I'm not quite sure. But definitely would recommend this. Fantastic cast. I think that there was probably personally better actors at the time, but they were probably less willing to participate in something like this. Who knows? It's really hard to tell at this point in time. The female actress, and I forget her name, I apologize, I'm so terrible at names, but she was really, really good and really strong. They all were really good, strong characters. But on the scale to 1 to 10, I would say this is like a 7, 7.5. It is a much watch as far as what I would say cultural intelligence, because people make movie references all the time, and I've heard many movie references, and maybe because I've been a lot in Hollywood and I've worked in that industry, that you hear those types of things, but I've heard it outside of that where people are making reference to movies in casual conversation. So it's good for cultural reference and just for social type of idea. But I would recommend it. It's really good if you are interested in the nature of being, because it does really start to scratch the surface of a number of different questions and issues. Thank you very much for joining me, Glenn Parker, High Vibration Foundation, coaching life, business, and spiritual retreats. Boys and girls, don't forget retreats down below in the description. There's tons of stuff going on, tons of questions being addressed, email address, coaching, foundation, donations, all kinds of stuff. So check it out. And if you do like this video, please do like, subscribe, and share. Thank you very much.